that's my name, and the date, and hey, the Ottawa Python Authors Group. Okay. Some of you knew that, right? Okay. Basically, this is the outline of the talk at a high level, common tasks, a bit about code structure, and we'll see what time that takes. Okay. In the area on common tasks, these are the 4 topics that I'll be covering. And at this point, what I'd like to do for people who already know how to program in some programming language, I found that when I was coming back to Python after 6 or 8 years, and I hadn't learned it a whole lot well before that, that when I went and looked at some courses, that I was very bored, okay? It was like, oh my gosh, where's the syntax? And at the end of half an hour, I'd have picked up, a couple of minutes of useful information. So I think that for people who are already programmers, that this might be a better way to do it. And some of you will have looked at it and gone, oh my God, we understand this already, okay? Somewhere there's another file that is being imported. It's actually something from the, let me do this way. Highlight that one. Okay, we're importing a module from the Python standard library, okay? And then we're declaring a variable and setting it to the name of a file. Then at this point, we're declaring a variable to something, and what this is a list. You might call it an array in another language. Now, what we're going to be doing in real life here is we're going to be doing a for loop, but we're going to be doing a for loop over a file. And with this syntax, we're using file input, which you can recognize as the name of the thing we imported, has something in it called input, and that's actually going to open that file, which we named here, and we're going to call it F. So down here, when we come to the for loop, all that information is set up just for this for loop. The indentation is important here. You may have heard that Python defines things by indentation. The other thing you need to notice is the colon at the end. Every time you get a colon at the end, you got something that is being contained. It's a loop or some other group of statements that are being controlled by that line that has the colon on it. Could be that you've defined a function. When you make that definition, at the end of the line, there's going to be a colon, and the stuff's going to be indented. People talk a lot in Python about the indentation being important, but it's the colon that tells things that we're going to have some indented stuff here. So for line in F. Now what we've done here is we've got this file. We pulled it in, and it's going to treat it line by line. So line is a variable name. And then all we're doing here is we're taking that line, and it's a string, and this is a string function, strip. We're going to strip it. We could have a different function that strips just the beginning of the line or just the end of the line. This will strip everything at the beginning and end of the line, everything, I mean all the white space. Throw away all the white space at the beginning and end of the line. And that includes the carried return or the line feed or the carried return line feed that marks line end. So you end up with the line, not the line with the next line appendage on it. So that's what this does. And you're all programmers, or almost all of you, so you understand everything I just said about dealing with lines and line endings and so on? Okay, good. And then we're going to take, so that's what's happening inside the brackets. Then what we've got here is the name of this list that we declared. So it's declared outside of this loop. If it wasn't declared outside of this loop, it would, of course, disappear if it was created inside the loop. As soon as you close the loop, that namespace is gone. And with a list, you have the ability to append to it. So what we're going to append is the results of the line strip. And that is hopefully the longest amount of explanation I'll need to give, because all this stuff is going to be applied in all the other things we do. Is there any questions about this section? Yes.
file, well, how does it know in which directory it is? Does it have to be the same directory as the file record?
You can put a longer description of where to find the file here. You could say, /home/rob/projects/trivial files. This just means it's in the current directory that we're running this program from. Yeah, it's from where I'm running the program. There are ways of saying, get it from the directory that the program itself lives in. And I use that capability in a program that I may have time to discuss at the end. But no, that wasn't just a rookie question. That was a good rookie question. Thank you. Okay, so now we've got something that's all the same stuff. Okay, so highlighted everything that hasn't changed. And now what we're going to do is take that repo list that we created or defined here and then filled, and we're going to take, again, line by line, and for every line in it, we're going to call it path and assign that line to path for each time through the loop, and then we're going to print that path. So that's, okay, now, if I've set up all my windows correctly, where's my mouse hiding now? Ah, there it is. Right, I need a new window because that one's busy running my web server. Open a tab, okay. That's not even on the screen at the moment, of course not. Okay, I maximized it accidentally on this screen, so that's not helping me. Ooh, it's on top. Okay. Now, if I can just, I know there's a mouse cursor here somewhere. There it is. Okay, oops. When I'm doing the presentations, I need to remember to turn off the select things. Okay, that's probably way too small, so I'm going to make it bigger. I think that's under view, I'm not sure. Nope, it's under edit. Come on, be good. Mouse slowly going to where I want it. Okay, appearance. Should be able to make the font bigger here. Not again. Okay, move it back over here. Okay. Ooh,